You've got carried away again, haven't you, Daniel? Hold back on the adjectives, lad. Keep it short, simple, to the point. I mean, it's a bit purple, some of this.
It was just a bit unusual, the graffiti.
Likely the work of kids with time on their hands. What's so special?
It was the daubing that took me notice. Big lines and circles, like a kid's drawing, green paint, right across the walls outside the shop. Crazy stuff.
A bit like modern art, you mean?
No letters or words, though. Struck me as odd, that. Usually get a few obscenities written up. Just this crazy scrawling.
Simon?
Morning, Maggie. Morning. Joe?
Morning, ma'am.
Oh, hello.
Bright and early.
Yes.
Young Sparks is just brewing up, ma'am.
Morning, Grace. Good, that'll help. I thought I'd come in early, get some paperwork done before it piles up. Best time of the day before the phone starts ringing.
Have any difficulty finding that restaurant last night?
No, you're right, Joe. Thanks. Across the moors, just the other side of Toniton, like you said. Bit of a trek, though, mind you.
Worth the effort, was it?
Yes, we did have quite a nice meal. Joe, do you make a habit of taking food home from restaurants?
What, you mean leftovers?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't normally frequent restaurants myself, ma'am. My mother always used to take a large handbag with her whenever she ate out. Reckon she'd paid for the food, so why shouldn't she have it?
That's what John Holden said. He took a bin liner.
I see, ma'am.
Funny sense of humour. Still, thanks, Joe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lunchtime today? I don't know. Let's see how I get on. I'm up to my eyes at the moment. OK, I'll see you in the pub at lunchtime if I can make it. Thanks, Danny. No, I'm not cross, John. Well, not exactly. I was a bit embarrassed last night, yes. I mean, I thought you were going to plonk the salt cellar in your bin liner as well. It's just you seem to have some very odd habits sometimes. Yes.
Simon, your dad wants a word.
Why, Simon? Eh? What are you about, lad? Clearing off in the middle of the night? Up with the dawn, sneaking off? Eh? Why? You're gonna get in the bother, you know that. You're ready for trouble, my son. Where'd you get to, eh? Answer me, Simon. I want to know what this is all about.
Simon, your dad's asking you.
Just wandering round. No harm.
Don't tell me you're just taking the air. You're up to something, you are. You're doing something wrong.
Not wrong, no.
Don't want the police on our doorstep over you. I don't want any trouble here.
Simon, you make us so worried. Roaming off on your own at odd hours. We don't know where you are. What you doing?
Just go off. Nowhere particular.
It's not natural by yourself.
You used to play football. Belong to that club. What's happened, Simon? Where's your interest?
Gone off it.
Gone off it. I don't get you, lad, I don't. I mean, you're given everything we can manage. You've got that shed out there, eh? It's what you always wanted, wasn't it, eh? Place of your own. But even that don't seem to interest you now.
I'm all right, Dad. All this fuss, what's the matter?
Well, I want a change of attitude, Simon. All this flopping around. I mean, when did you last go down the job centre?
They got nothing.
Yeah, well, I won't have you going off like this, you hear? I won't have it.
Could do what I want, can't I? I'm 17, I'm old enough to decide.
You'll do what I say while you're here in this house. Now, where'd you get to, eh? Up to the moors? Is that where you're going?
To the moors? Why should I? What's up there?
Look, Simon, you're causing us a lot of worry.
Why? I don't see why.
Your mum, it's upsetting her. She's having a baby, remember?
Why did you ask about the moors?
Shut it! Get out of here! Get out! I don't want to the house to hear. I don't want to hear.
Make it up, please, now. Between you. For my sake.
Sorry, Mum.
We've got to get the police in on that boy. Let them sort it before something happens.
We can't. You know we can't.
Interesting thing is, blackboards were covered with these weird chalk marks.
Algebra exercises, probably.
No, Sarge, just like before, like the graffiti down the shopping precinct. Same kind of scrawling. Except this time there was a letter, a sort of S it looked like.
Put it all in your report. Let's see ID fathom it. And keep it brief this time, eh?
Sarge?
Danny,
Oh.
can I have a word?
Can I help you, sir?
Brian Killer around?
I'm afraid he's not on duty this morning.
Oh.
Anything I can do?
No, I want to Mr. Kellerer. I don't know where he lives, so I thought best come down here.
It's not police business, then, I take it.
Well, it could be, yeah. Well, that's why I've come.
Well, tell me about it.
No, I'd rather not. I know Mr. Kellerer, and it's a bit private.
See? Well, he'll be here this afternoon if you'd like to call back.
No, I can't do that. I've already taken time off the garage to come down here. And it's a bit urgent. Well, it might prove so.
Can I help at all? I'm Inspector Longton, Mr.
Bailey. Douglas Bailey.
Well, Mr. Bailey, I'm expecting PC Keller in to see me shortly. Perhaps you'd like to sit in my office, have a cup of coffee, talk to me. Tell me about this, if you'd like to.
Well, I don't know. It could amount to nothing, really.
Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't have given it your working time over nothing. This way. long has he been behaving like this?
For the past month or so. Seems suddenly to have come upon him.
Any particular cause?
Not that I know of. He's always been a bit of a loner, you know. He kept himself to himself. We like football. A good player. Keen on Mr. Keller's club. But even that don't seem to interest him now.
Where do you think he goes?
Likes the country. Always has done.
No harm in that. Do you think it might be connected with your wife expecting a baby?
Well, I don't see really. No, he's really pleased about it. Simon doesn't resent the baby coming.
Maybe not on the surface. Perhaps he's a bit jealous deep down. Not even aware of it. So it comes out in this unpredictable behaviour.
Well, I can't believe that, Inspector.
Simon's grown up as an only child. Perhaps the prospect of this new arrival might have disturbed him.
Well, we had Simon when we were young, see? In our teens. Wasn't planned for. So we waited till we were proper set up, saved a tidy sum before we had another kid.
You say Simon's never worked since he left school?
Nothing but lads like him round these parts.
Well, that could have something to do with it. Unoccupied, feeling bored, unwanted. It's understandable.
I just think my son might get himself into trouble.
But why, Mr. Bailey? For what reason?
Oh, this strange way of carrying on. I mean, this morning, threatening me. So unlike him.
Fathers and sons often fall out. Simon's at that uncertain age. You know, a bit restless, trying to sort himself.
Oh, there's something more to this.
Very possibly so, Mr. Bailey. But have you told me everything about the situation?
What do you mean?
Well, people sometimes come to us worried about someone, usually in their family. There's often a good reason which they know but won't admit to. So we only get half the story.
I'm not holding anything back, if that's what you're saying.
Then why are you so worried? Your son's behaving like many kids of his age. You don't know of any mischief he's been up to, do you?
I know of nothing like that.
So there's nothing more you can tell me?
Look, I've come here to try and avoid anything happening. Prevent him getting into trouble.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I thought you could just talk to him. You know, word from the police might bring him to his senses before it's too late.
Right. I'll ask Brian Kelleher to talk to him, you know, on an informal basis, see if there is anything to worry about.
Ryman's Farm, that's just off Moor End Lane, isn't it? And the intruder made off, you say? Did you get a look at him? I'll see. Was there any damage done?
Morning, Danny. What's around?
In our office, Brian.
Good mood. Good enough for you.
Anything stolen, was there? A spade? Just a spade?
Now, Brian, I'm going to start nagging you again.
Ma'am?
Today's the closing date for promotion board applications. That's why I wanted us to speak before you came on duty this afternoon. I've not had a report from you.
No, Mum.
Well, why haven't you applied for permission to appear on the board?
Same reason as before, Mum.
Still not interested?
I'm satisfied with where I am.
You don't strike me as lazy, Brian, or complacent. Are you intimidated by the idea of responsibility?
It's just not my style. I'm not that ambitious. As long as I do my job well enough, that's all I want.
You prefer the simple life?
Yeah, I suppose that's right.
Yet you were sufficiently motivated to pass your sergeant's exam.
Oh, passing, it's one thing. It's good to have it under your belt. If I was successful on the promotions board and got made sergeant, I could get moved from Hartley. Now, there's the kids' school to consider. This is a town I like.
Then have you considered specialising? CID, for instance. You've impressed everyone with your skill at handling suspects.
The hours are the main disadvantage, Mum. They're pretty unsocial.
Your wife would mind?
I'd mind. I'm quite involved with the sports club, and I like to see my family.
OK, I see that. But there's no reason why you shouldn't at least try for a promotion in the uniform branch.
I might very well change my mind in a few years' time, but as of now...
How old are you? 34 in a matter of days, isn't that right? Happy birthday now, by the way, in case I forget.
Thanks.
You've been with the force, what, 15 years? You've left things late already. Now's the time to act. Because in another 5 or 6 years, you'll face the prospect of being supervised by men younger than yourself. How would you take to that?
Not too kindly, I don't imagine. No doubt I can live with it.
But why should you? You're a good officer. You've got things to offer.
Thank you, Mum.
Now, it's not for me to talk you into something you don't want. But there are others to consider. Like your wife. How does she feel about this?
Well, Mum, Janice, she's keen for me to, I mean, certainly she'd like me to take the initiative.
Then you owe it to her. And your family. At least give it a try.
Thank you for taking this trouble, Mum.
Anyway, you've got till this afternoon, so think on it.
I will, Mum.
Oh, Brian, while you're here, there's another matter I want to talk to you about.
Simon. Wondered where you'd gone.
Nowhere much. Are you okay?
Say sorry to your father. Make it right with him.
I didn't mean nothing. He just riled me.
Apologise to him when he comes home tonight. Then we can forget it. Do you want something to eat?
I'll take some sandwiches out into the shed.
Why don't you have them in here? Won't it be cold out there on your own?
I'll be okay.
I'll make you some up.
Thanks, Mum. Mum, why did Dad ask about the moors?
He doesn't want you to go up there, Simon. He doesn't like the moors.
Why not?
Maybe he'll tell you one day. I'll make you sandwiches now.
Open up there. Hello, Simon. Your Mum asked me to bring this out.
Fancy a bite?
Yeah, got me dinner waiting at home. How you doing then?
Not so bad.
Thought I'd drop by. Haven't seen you down the club lately.
Been a bit busy, Mr. Kelleher.
What do you reckon on Burnley now, then?
Not been following.
Gone off them since relegation.
Lost interest a bit, that's all.
It's all right in here, isn't it? Your own den. Did you paint the outside yourself? Why'd you pick green?
Favourite colour?
Do you keep down out here some nights?
In the summer. Too cold now.
Used to go off camping when I was your age. Nothing like it. Away from everything. Trouble is, you've always got to come back home again. What do you reckon on your mother, then? Expecting a kid?
I built a cot.
Have you?
Thought I could make some toys as well. Things like these. Model farmhouse or something.
You do this?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You fond of animals?
Never thought about it.
Who's in the photo?
That was my granddad. Old snapshot I found.
He's dead then, is he?
Never knew him. Just like his face there.
This is quite something.
You can have it if you like.
Let me buy it off you.
You can't buy it, Mr. Kelleher. It's not intended for selling. You can have it.
Thank you, Simon. I'll give it to my daughter. Where'd you get all the tools and stuff?
They were Dad's. He let me have the shed as well.
Pity you can't find work in this line. Getting you down, is it? Being out of work?
Can't say I'm out of work. Never been in work.
What do you do with yourself when you're not carving models?
Take off, wander round, nothing much.
Look, Simon, your dad came to see us this morning at the station. He seems he's a bit bothered about you. Thinks you're getting a bit wild. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, he's concerned. Anything in it? You've been behaving yourself, haven't you?
Done nothing wrong.
Not been misbehaving recently?
Like what?
Well, your dad seems to think you've been keeping odd hours.
Well, what does it matter?
Matters nothing. As long as you mind how you go. Humour your dad a bit. Try and do what he wants. We all got to fall in sometimes. Just you wait till you're married.
Dad sent you here.
Indirectly.
I thought you just looked in to say hello.
Well, I've got to go now, Simon. My dinner will be burning. Well, thanks to the little horse.
Why are you doing everything you possibly can to provoke me?
Am I succeeding?
Is it some sort of test? A battle of wills? Kind of tribal initiation ceremony?
Tribal initiation ceremony. We haven't really got down to that yet, have we? I mean, you're quite an old-fashioned type of girl.
Yes.
I'm proud of it.
Not ashamed of it.
You think we'll ever get down to it? Or will we be drawing our pensions first?
But I can think of better places for that kind of discussion.
Yeah, so can I. The lounge bar, for example.
Sometimes you really
A bit
are.
of a slob, in fact.
Did I say that?
No, but it's what you think. Not polite enough in posh restaurants. Slurps in his beer, burps on occasions. Not a suitable companion for the chief constable's cocktail party. He's too untidy in mind and spirit.
You'll improve.
Not a great deal. I was born wrapped in fish and chip paper.
Perhaps that's what attracts me.
A revolted fascination. A kind of temporary escapade into the lowlife. Bast. What do you do that for?
I shall sit here till you drink it.
Want something to eat? They do ham butties here.
Not if you brought another bin liner.
No, I always use the same one. I'm not joking.
I must say it was a bit too much last night. And the waiters weren't too happy either. I mean, first the shrimps went in, then half a chicken, then the roast potatoes and lump of English cheddar. And you wanted some of mine.
It was for the dog.
Oh, I see. First off, I thought you were planning a cold lunch buffet.
I can't drink that now, can I? I'll get another round in.
Not for me, John. I've got to get back.
Oh, well, when will I see you again?
How much do you want to?
Quite a lot. Maybe I can loosen you up eventually.
Maybe I can teach you some table manners.
Ah, I doubt it. Your mother failed.
Not your mother, am I?
Well, prove it.
Time I went.
Tomorrow morning in the park.
What's wrong with tonight?
I'm working.
Okay, tomorrow morning. We can work off some of our aggression. Excuse me.
Hold it. Right, what's your name?
Right, cut it out! Vicious little ferret, aren't you?
Ah, there you are. Afternoon, Sarge. Inspector's asking for you. Never gives up, does she? Hang on there, mate.
Brian?
Ma'am, I've decided. I'm going to apply for permission to appear on the promotions board.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Brian, your assistance is needed. Young Simon Bailey says he won't talk to anyone but you.
Why did you write your name up on the wall, Simon? Was that it? A kind of signature?
Just to see my name. Look at it there.
Why was that important?
It's my name.
Well, why didn't you write it up when you did over the shopping precinct?
I tried, but
And what about the school? And that was your old form classroom you broke into, wasn't it? You never managed to finish writing your name on the blackboard. Why was that?
got fed up.
There's something you can't stand about school and learning, isn't there? Write it for me. On there. Write your name. Simon. Go on. Put Simon. You can't write, can you? A lot of people have difficulties. No cause for shame.
Not worth much if you can't write. Not even your own name.
What about your reading? Can you read? It must have been the same all through your schooling, Simon. It never seemed to bother you like this before. Is it because you can't get a job?
Wanted to read about football in the papers like others do. On the back page where they print things about the matches. I've seen lads my age reading the papers. I just wanted to be able to.
Why didn't you get someone to read it out for you?
It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
So, you took to daubing and wrecking. You broke into your old school, I can understand that, but why pick on the shopping precinct? And that old building side? I mean, was there any particular reason or just random?
Ugly. Ugly places.
You don't like the look of them, modern buildings?
Can't breathe near them.
Simon, do you want to make a statement? You don't have to. But if you want to tell us what happened in your own words, somebody will write it down.
Then won't you want to hear about the farm?
What farm, Simon?
I broke into the farm by the moors.
You mean Ryman's? Ryman's factory farm?
Stinks of death, that place.
Did you take a spade?
That's why I went there, looking for a spade.
What did you want that for?
There was a dead sheep on the moor road. Couldn't be left like that.
What did you do with the spade after?
Left it up on the moors.
What were you doing on the moors, Simon?
I go there sometimes.
You like the moors?
They scare me a bit.
Why do they scare you?
There's something there. Just a feeling.
What's up there, Simon? Why'd you go there?
I don't know. They draw me somehow. Like something pulling at me. What will happen to me now?
Well, you'll be charged with criminal damage and burglary. Your case will come up before the magistrates in 2 or 3 weeks. In the meantime, you'll be bailed.
Does that mean I can go away now?
When the paperwork's done, CID will want to talk
I've
to you.
said everything.
Simon, you'll have to stay here a little longer. If you like, we'll contact your parents, tell them what's happened. They might want to come down here.
I don't want them here. Keep them out.
They should be told, Simon. Your father's already come to us. You might want to hear about
I won't have him here. Leave him out of it.
Calm down, Simon.
Why don't you all just leave me alone?
I see he's signed a statement with an ex, poor lad. What a turmoil he's in. First offender. Obviously in an unsettled state. Probably get probation. Maybe that'll help sort him.
There's something not right about this, Mum. There's more to it.
How do you mean?
It's too simple. I don't believe it. A kid that can't read or write gets up to all this mischief just because of that. Doesn't add up.
You think he's lying?
Not lying. I don't think he even knows what this is about.
You're not making sense, Brian.
What is this hold the Moors have over him? Why did he break into the farm?
He said why.
He's running from something. Trying to find something.
Why aren't there any windows in here?
You what?
I want to stretch my legs.
Sit down, we won't be long.
Why can't I just walk around for a bit?
Look, will you just...
What on earth was that? Brian. George, what happened?
Well, we've got a slight problem, Mum. I'm sure we can sort it out.
Explanations, please.
Bailey's escaped, Mum.
How did it happen?
He was just so fast, Mum. I couldn't stop him.
You realise that if this lad isn't caught in a very short time, you will automatically be subject to formal disciplinary procedure for neglect of duty.
Yes, Mum.
Wait outside, Constable. I'll speak to you later.
Mum?
I don't want a word of this breathed outside the station, George. I want to keep this between ourselves for as long as we can.
There'll be trouble if we don't report it.
I'm prepared to take that risk. I want to avoid young Sparks being hauled in front of the Chief Constable.
Well, we'll have to circulate a message to headquarters within a couple of hours.
Right. Let's make sure we catch Bailey before then. Everyone in for briefing. CID as well. I want every officer in the station out looking for that lad.
And there was no time to get her to the hospital, see, so Shannon's in the bedroom upstairs.
Well, I'm glad things went so well for you, Mr. Bailey. How did Simon react?
Oh, he doesn't know yet. He's not been here.
Oh. You've not seen him yet?
What's going on? What's happened to him? He's gone to find my father. His grandfather.
Simon believes his grandfather to be dead, Mr. Bailey.
I told him he was dead. But he may still be alive. I've not seen him for 17 years. We were travellers. Simon was born in a gypsy caravan out on the moors. Near Toniton, there's a site used by gypsy folk. Near Craigmore End. Simon spent his first months there.
It's not a permanent site, though, is it?
Well, folk used to travel over. Stop a month or two. We came once a year. The owners were friendly.
But, Mr. Bailey, how is it possible for you to know that your father's there? At Craigmore End, right at this minute.
Time of the year. We travel this part of the country come autumn.
Why did you not speak of this when you came to see me?
Well, the same reason I didn't tell Simon. I didn't want him to know. I wouldn't have Simon growing up on gypsy camps. Always on the road, nowhere to go, that way of life. I planned we'd become an ordinary family. We were called O'Shea. We changed our name by deed poll. See, we were frightened people would find out about us. Scared what people would think knowing we were gypsies. That's why we waited so long before we had another kid.
Can we be sure that you're right about where Simon's gone? I mean, he might have just run off anywhere.
Simon took a watch. Gold watch. My father gave it to me as a keepsake when we left. Simon knew it was his grandfather's. He's taken it to him. Look, I must go to my wife now.
Mr. Bailey? Why should this happen now, at this time? I mean, why hasn't Simon gone off like this before in all the years you've been living here?
I don't know that. I just don't know. Look, my wife will want me with her.
Can we rely upon what he says? Can we risk pulling all our men out to Toniton on something that vague?
With respect, Ma'am, I don't believe we should send in a lot of uniforms after the lad. He'll run at the first sight. He knows those moors. Could take days to find him.
No, Simon. No more running.
Get off!
It's your grandfather down there. Your daddy didn't tell you the whole truth. There's a lot he didn't tell you. Don't blame him. He thought he was doing for the best. He's dying, Simon. It's going fast. Maybe that's what brought you here. You caught something of it. Felt it.
Why is he lying outside on the ground?
You wanted to see the sky. Go on, Simon. Take in the watch.
You were born here. You can always come back to them later.
No. It's all over.
There's some news for you. You got a baby sister.
Have I?
Come on. Time to go back now. Next on Drama, we catch up with London's finest police. The good folk of Sun Hill are on the beat. In the bill.
All right. When we go, straight inside, hit that glass.
Don't go getting nervous on us, Boyle.
Watch it.
I am watching. I've been watching your hands.
What the hell are we waiting for? 4 customers in the bank. Too many. If we're gonna do it, let's do it.
You need a holiday. You need some sunshine. This work's getting you down.
You're so clever, aren't you? But I'll have the last word with you, Boyle. Shut it!
All right, we'll go with 4.
Yeah.
You take that glass, and then you keep your finger off that trigger before you blow us all away.
Touch that button, he's dead! Everyone, cover your eyes! Do it! You, open this! Lady, you've got 2 seconds! Back where I can see you! Move! Cover your eyes! Shift it! We go out! Anyone who follows is dead! If it's how long when we go out, we come back in again! That's my promise, and you better believe it! Out! Out!
Harley to all patrols. Urgent to all patrols. Robbery. North Britain Bank, High Street, Harley. Time 10:07 hours. 3 men, no descriptions yet, in brown Jaguar. Direction south towards Penworth Vale. Registration number believed to be...
Inspector to Hartley.
Yes, Mom.
My position, George. Southwood Road, cutting across to Penworth Vale.
Understood, Mom. Registration number. Bravo Juliet Alpha 832...
Inspector to Hartley. Inspector to Hartley.
Hartley.
Brown Jaguar, high speed, Penworth Vale Road. Can't catch it. Inform headquarters, traffic. Checkpoint and fast. Checkpoint beyond Tolmer. They're headed for the motorway.
Headquarters being informed now, Mum.
If they're playing billiards, get them down here, all right?
George, is there a road across to Penworth Vale? I'm on, Haycott Moor Road.
No, I'm not north of Tolman.
Get a car down to Penworth Vale.
Yes, Mum.
I'm going to the bank.
Understood. Out. Hartley to 6659.
6659, Sarge.
Instructions from Juliet Bravo. Get to Penworth Vale Road. Brown Jaguar travelling south towards motorway. Get after them and make sure they don't backtrack either.
Hartley to Inspector.
Yes, George?
2 headquarters traffic cars proceeding checkpoint, junction 16, motorway.
Maybe we got 'em, George.
Maybe we do, Mum. Hartley out.
2 at 5 feet 10 and 1 at 6 foot.
Yes.
Accents?
Only one spoke. Touch of Liverpool. I'd say Liverpool, you know. He was the one told us to cover our eyes.
Thanks very much, that's fine, love.
It could have been worse. About 9,500.
Any serial numbers?
The £50 notes, £2,500 worth. New notes, we do have numbers.
Oh, good. Oh, sir.
Checkpoints on junction 16, motorway. Should be hitting it now.
Right. A couple of the old ones are in shock. Maybe a doctor
I'll
will-
talk to him. How much?
9,500.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Detective Chief Inspector Perrin. We have to ask all of you certain questions, and now. The manager, I'm sure, will make phones available for those who wish to use them. Could somebody make tea for the old folk here?
Yeah, I will.
We're going to need all of you for at least half an hour.
Mr. Bayliss.
Wish I could say good morning. This isn't Hartley style, is it? Bit of history. Never been a bank robbery before.
Is the 9,500 a firm figure, Mr. Bayliss?
Looks like. It's the disbursements to the tills. Oh, and we've got a few numbers for you.
Have we got them contained, sir?
Headquarters may let them through Tolmer. Block the motorway, then block Tolmer. They have 4 mobiles within a 10-minute area.
Have they been spotted?
By you, apparently. All in gloves.
Yes, sir. Oh, barring the one who took him off to grab the money while the others covered him.
It was a shotgun and 1 pistol,
Inspector
right?
Hartley.
Right, they poured in through the door and then smashed the panel.
What news of the checkpoint?
Negative, Mum. Nothing so far.
Did you get a car north down Penworth Vale towards Tolmer?
Mum, HQ routed our car direct to motorway.
Message received. Out.
Lass, come to the back, will you? Quite a major incident for my first contact with your section.
Yes, sir.
Your section, my CID.
Yes, sir.
I understand you have CID background.
Yes, sir.
So will you keep it well under rein? One of the banes of an existence like mine has got to be the section inspector with the Serrano de Bergerac nose.
I'm not sure what you mean, sir.
I mean, keep your nose out, lass.
Now, just a minute, sir.
Don't just a minute me. And I'm not going to split hairs with you.
With respect, sir, there's nothing to split hairs about. This is my section. I am involved. Inspector to Hartley.
Hartley.
Still no sighting.
Negative, Mum.
Have you got a Panda car?
Sparks has just come in, back from 2 area. Browning's in.
Right, tell Sparks and Browning to get that Panda up to junction Headley Rise and Penworth Vale. Set up a checkpoint. Stop and search all cars, vans moving north.
Cut your rotten speed! We're away! Oh, I'm feeling sick.
I don't know why we brought in garbage like you. First shaking and falling around like autumn leaves. Now you're car sick.
Would you slow this motor? I'll break your neck.
We're here.
You hear that, stupid? We're here.
About time.
Shut it.
You did something very irritating at the bank. You walked out on me in mid-sentence. You delivered some defiant phrase, lass, and then you walked out.
I'd rather you didn't address me as lass, sir.
So you're looking for some kind of confrontation with me?
No, sir. But there seems to be some confusion about responsibilities. This is my section. I am involved in this incident, and unless directed otherwise by a senior officer, I intend to maintain my involvement.
If you and your activities in any way come into conflict with my conduct of this robbery investigation, I'll see you made to feel very sorry for yourself.
I and my men will cooperate fully with you, sir.
Is that sarcasm, lass? Inspector?
Absolutely not. All right, sir. Can I start over again? I have sectional responsibility. I would like to cooperate fully with you. How can I and my men assist you?
How many uniform can you muster? How many can you expect to work double shift?
Inspector Longton? Hello? Oh, it's you.
I want to see you.
I'm sorry, John. That's not possible at the moment. I'm right up to my neck.
Well, I've got to talk to you. When can I phone you to speak to you for 3 minutes?
1 o'clock?
Right. Bye.
Yeah, we've only just arrived. Not much traffic around. Seems
Joe,
to be fairly
a
popular
word
with
with
tractors
you.
and
You
sheep.
can pass it on to George as
Anyway,
well.
John Browning.
Think about
is
who's in my office before you put through a personal call.
Repeat.
Yes?
John Browning is.
Yes, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Sergeant Paddock.
First bank robbery in a career. Me lecturing a class of school kids on the day in my working life.
You'd better get a better alibi than that, Bry. We all know you did it.
No, I'm innocent, Sarge.
Yeah, well, while you're proving it, you better keep on your toes. As aggro about the first appearance of our new DCI Perrin.
What's the aggro?
Giving her hell. Now she's in a temper with him, we won't get a look in on this job.
DS Maltby to Hartley.
You never know, though. CID seem to have lost the beggars. No doubt they'll expect us to find them.
Right, job for you, Sarge.
The likelihood is they're out of the county, villains, but they've run to earth. In open country, open moorland, so we'll get them. And when we've got them, I want to have their background. Yes, bring me back.
Come
in.
Dick Mott just came through, sir. They're not between Tormer and the motorway.
Thank you, John.
They switched cars and came back to town?
When you spotted them, they were heading for Tolmer, so they went through there.
Does that follow, sir?
There are a dozen roads off Lower Penworth Vale beyond Tolmer. There are no roads off Penworth Vale coming back to town. The professionals, they know we can't block a dozen roads in minutes.
What of the clever, inspired amateurs, sir?
Oh, come on, Pringo. Shut it.
Hey, bring up.
Yeah. Start counting the money out.
Hold on a minute. I thought I was doing that.
Shut it.
What about the van?
What about the van? 10 times went over the plans and you still haven't got it. How many other questions you want to ask that we've answered a dozen times before?
Shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth. Count that money out, eh?
Hartley.
Mr. Pelling, bloke from post office, says no Jaguar came through Tolmer. Witness was keeping a close eye on the street, parking problems, expecting deliverers. Witness definite. Jaguar did not come through Tolmer.
You sure? Right. Some shopkeeper in Tolmer says definitely no Jaguar went through. He had his eye on the street waiting deliveries.
They backtracked.
I don't know.
They ran from Hartley, switched transport and ran back to Hartley.
No, too risky.
You know, I put Sparks and Browning to set up a checkpoint here. If they backtracked, they'll have hit the checkpoint.
You did what?
Well, as I left the bank, I thought better get South Road from Hartley covered quick.
What the hell's going on here? And what else have you ruddy well done? Robbery at the North Britain Bank, 10:07. We know that 3 men switched a stolen Jaguar for a smaller vehicle, a saloon car or light van. This looks like a professional team. They may even have made a further switch. Now, we have to search along Penworth Vale Road on both sides south of Hartley, all the moorland around here. Our first search will be along a band 2 miles into the moors either side of the road. These people are armed. They have a shotgun and a handgun. Possibly the third man is armed. You make no approaches to any suspicious persons. You report and await assistance.
Firearms officer, sir.
Yes, there are 5 on the way.
6 mobiles, sir, and 2 motorcycles, and Mr. Jenkinson's on the phone for you.
Right. Sergeant Beck.
Right, Arthur, Fred, Jack. Area cars, Penworth Vale and Mill End Lane.
I'll come back to division. Get on the CIS, see what the computer comes up with. More traffic cars. 3. Right, I'm on my way. If the chief super contacts here, tell him I'm off back to division. I'll see him there.
Right, sir.
If you have any ideas, I'd like to be informed. Preferably before you do anything.
Right, sir.
Hey. Here. You.
Why don't you get a paraffin heater? I'm frozen solid.
No, poor dear thing. Never heard about gas in mines, I suppose.
Those garbage like you is used to crawling around freezing filthy mountains.
Listen, pet. 48 hours and you'll be out of here, see? Mallorca, Madeira, you like that? The boiling sun beating down on your repulsive body.
What else you got in there?
Well, there's today's papers, some playing cards, carton of milk, bread, butter, sugar, flasks of tea and soup, some reading material. You know, big books without pictures for Vic and me, and a copy of Tit-Bits for you.
Oh, very funny.
Yeah. 2 transistors.
Oh, here, give us one of them.
Though I regret to tell you, pal, you can't use that down here, see? You've got to go somewhere else for your woman's hour.
Where are you going?
There's no
Down
radio.
here, I suppose you're supposed to stay.
It's the radio. Get him to get out of his sight.
I've told you about that. I want to take the van back to town. About an hour at the most. I'll be blowed. I'll be double blowed. Come on, Bessie.
Brother Jack? Yeah, is that you, Brother Jack? Yeah, Brother William Minty speaking. Yeah, get Brothers Henry Jones and Ted Mead over to Crown and Eagle. We're to form a committee. Yeah, well, as I predicted years ago, it's happened. The outrage has happened.
Good morning, sir.
What's the matter, officer?
Won't keep you a moment. Rear door's locked?
I don't think so, no.
OK, move along now, sir.
Was it rustlers? I heard that some of the sheep were stolen off the moors, like.
Thank you, sir. You can just move along.
Look, I'm terribly busy. For you to just walk in. There's been a bank robbery.
Heard. Come on, Kate, you're always terribly busy. You said 3 minutes on the phone at 1 o'clock. Well, it's 1 o'clock on here, so
All
what's
right,
the difference?
all right, I'm listening.
OK. I'll be brief. There's a friend in town, an old man. An old mate of my father's. He's in India. He's made a lot of money in the construction business over here, and now he wants to go back to India and set up a charitable trust. And he wants me to help run it. To travel 6 months round India with him. Starting, well, in a matter of days. So, well, I think I want to go to India.
Just like that?
No, not just like that. I heard about it yesterday lunchtime, and I've spent 24 hours thinking about it.
Did you work out how I was supposed to react?
Come on, Kate. That's why I'm here, isn't it?
Sounds like you're telling me you're off. Come in, please. Yes, George?
Mrs. Joan Ellis, one of the bank clerks. She thinks she's remembered something about the villains. I've put her in the interview room.
Right. Are we going to discuss this further?
Yeah, of course.
Well, it can't be now.
All right.
Ring me later.
Yeah.
Come on, gotta go. Mrs. Ellis, I'm Inspector Longton.
Oh, hello.
I believe you have something to tell us about the robbery.
Well, it was the young man, the policeman. He said that any details we could remember about the three men, you know, appearances and that.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if this is going to sound silly.
Mrs. Ellis, anything you've recollected?
Well, two of them had gloves on.
Yes.
It was the third one, the one who collected the money.
Yes.
His hands were dirty. He had very dirty hands. I mean, I feel silly saying this.
Don't feel that. You mean they were muddy?
No, not mud. Not mud colour. Sort of black. Like he'd been painting with black paint and hadn't got it properly off his hands.
Could it have been paint?
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Well, thank you for coming in, Mrs. Ellis. We'll certainly follow that up.
I'll put the kettle on while it's quiet.
Yeah, good idea, and get the biscuits out. I'm a bit pecky.
When the boss comes out, remind her to phone Mr. Perrin.
Don't think she's likely to forget.
Oh, when the course of true love doesn't run smooth.
Get off and make the tea. You're sounding like a novelette. What's that about true love?
Thanks for seeing me, Inspector.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Oh, good. Well, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Right, Joe.
Mr. Perrin, I'll get him for you.
Please. Chief Inspector Perrin?
Yes, Inspector Longton, listen carefully, please. Crime Intelligence has come up with two possibilities.
Yes, sir.
One team operates out of Liverpool. Woolmer, Goring, Harkness. Fits a description of 2 at 5 feet 10, 1 over 6 feet.
Promising.
Just a minute. Now the second team, Davis, Knight, Paul Pringle. 2 at 6 feet, 1 just under. Now they've done a bank in Derby, or suspicion of. Lifted, but insufficient evidence. Anyhow, we'll go to addresses, see if either lot are about.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll come via Hartley with photos. Have you been able to get any other reserve?
Sir, you've got everybody. There's something else, sir. Mrs. Ellis, a bank clerk from the North Britain Bank, came by. A detail for what it's worth. The villain collecting the money, she says his hands were black.
Black?
Dirty. Filthy, she said. Black's the operative word, not mud-coloured.
Right. You'll be there?
Yes, sir.
Looks like you'll be having to organise refreshments for 25 to 30.
Oh, I'll get my pinafore on.
Don't assume, Inspector, I'm a ready audience for your wit.
Right, I'll bear that in mind, Detective Chief Inspector.
Black hands.
What's this? I got my dairy to look after. What's so urgent?
Sit down, brother, because when you hear the shot, likely you'll be fainting.
What is it?
It's wicked news, Jonesy. Look, we'll have a drink first. It'll be a long meeting to plan strategy.
Strategy? What do you mean, strategy?
Well, I'm convening a meeting.
Oh, come on, Bill. It's 5 years since last of us took a miner's wages.
Aye, because of them swine. Here, have a drink, brother.
Away with that. You know I don't drink no more, Bill.
On a point of order, Brother Jones, brothers of the movement address each other as brothers and not by Christian names.
Oh, never mind him. We got a quorum.
My God, what is this?
Look, Brother Ted, you are chairman, and have some water with your scotch.
Right. Look, if this is a meeting, why the drinks?
Why not?
I'll tell you why not. 5 years ago, when we were miners, you always brought a bottle of scotch to committee. And then you drank too much of it. And then you always started a punch-up.
Out of order, brother.
What do you want?
They've done it to us, brothers. We have finally been well and truly done.
Done what?
5 years back, all of us, all working out to our retirement at Windreth Top Mine, eh? Now, all right, them seams were thin, but we knew we were coiling through to Area 4, and we knew there were ruddy fine coiling there. And then that capitalist mining company, they lies to our face, says they've done their geologicals, and there's note a good coil. Lies. Now, you and I know well, brothers, why they closed down Windreth Top. It were because they couldn't handle us. Pass me another scotch. Thank you, Jonesy.
Brother.
Yeah, brother. Now, they called me, brother, a professional troublemaker and a Bolshevik, and that is a quote. Now, they dubbed us, all of us, commies. And the way they dealt with that were to shut that pit down from under us.
So what?
So what? So they lied. Here. This morning, I saw a maintenance team at Windreth Top. They're back. Now they've got rid of us, and they're going to put Windreth Top back on stream.
Maintenance team?
Yes.
Maintenance on what? When they close a pit nowadays, they can't reopen it.
Of course they can't. That's another of their lies you've fallen for.
All right, all right. What team? Describe what they were doing.
Look, in the memory of all the good men who lost their jobs. Now, what, brothers, are we going to do about capitalists and their rotten treachery in closing down that mine and now reopen it, eh?
4 routes out of Hartley if they didn't get south of Tolmer. They're contained. Time's still on our side.
Right, all of you, I want you to look at these. CIS suggests these as prospects. Team 1, Woolmer, Goring, Harkness. Team 2, Davis, Knight, Pringle.
Gentlemen, bang down your tees fast, please. Let's get back on the search.
We're doing all right on Manning, sir. Looks like we're well covered to finish the moors.
Right. Sir, I've seen him.
Where and when?
At Inspector Longton's checkpoint she asked me and John to set up.
Time?
11:30. He was in a van, yellow Ford Transit.
Registration?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know the registration number? What kind of copper do you think you are?
I'm sorry, sir.
You searched it?
Oh, yeah. On the moped in the back, nothing else.
Right. Dick. Sir? Circulate descriptions of these 3?
Yes, sir.
Right. Where are they? How far did they get before your officer saw Knight?
45 minutes. Let's say 20 minutes out to some refuge, 5 minutes stop, and 20 minutes back to here, the Donny's checkpoint.
They could have got across the moors quite a ways to Great Downley.
Or Limgill Bottoms.
Great Downley, house-to-house search, checkpoints either end.
Right, tease over, lads. Great Downley.
I'll go over to Limgill Bottoms. Phone Dave Pauly, tell him I'm coming. Come on, move!
I am the man, the very fat man that waters the workers' beer. Can we get a whiskey?
3 pints. And a large scotch.
Not for him, another large scotch.
Oh, come on. Us lot kept this pub going for 40 years. You and your dad before you.
That Minty has enough taken.
He'll be very pleased to hear that.
Call to order, brothers. All right, brothers. Now, what are we going to make of this issue, eh? What action? Who do we see?
Let's make an agenda.
Where's Miss Scotch?
He says he won't serve you.
Won't serve me?
No.
We'll see about won't serve me, eh? Scotch, double, and make it sharp.
No.
Oh, all right. I'll have a hot pie instead.
All right, which one?
Oh, the whole ruddy lot.
George, can you get me Mr. Perrin?
Divisional HQ came through to contact him. He's off air at Limgill Bottom. I'll try again.
Thanks.
Oh, and Kelleher's brought in a drunken disorderly. The Auckland Food Cabinet at the Crown and Eagle. William Minty. He's an old man, Mum. He's getting stuffy by the minute. Might be best if you spoke to him.
In the cells?
Yes.
Bring him along to the interview room. I thought you'd like a strong coffee, Mr. Minty.
Oh, God. Who are you?
I'm Inspector Longton.
Inspector? Inspector! Inspector. Oh, what do you want?
What I want is your version of what happened at the Crown and Eagle public bar.
What? Why?
There's a matter of a heated food display case. Landlord said it's wrecked. Said it's near new and he paid £150 for it.
His father were a rotten villain and all.
How did the food tray come to get smashed?
I don't know.
He says you picked it up and threw it on the floor.
I picked it up and threw it on the floor. Hey. Do you know why his father left mine and went into the pub?
No.
Because he were a boss's lackey. General strike. Brothers starving to death round here. And Mr. Crown and Eagle the First takes himself over to Lord Gorton's mines at Fulton Lacey, and he's down there, with all t'other traitors, working on quiet. Traitor to the cause.
Drink the coffee, Mr. Minton.
Well, I'm not finished with rotten traitors. It's not just a food display cabinet that I'll be dropping on mining company. Windruth Top is going to be a lie that they paid dearly for. Opening it up again.
What do you mean? Windruff Top, opening it up?
You're the mine girl, the mine.
I know it's a mine.
Look, there's maintenance people down there sneaking about. I see them, but do it with my own eyes. This morning.
Mr. Minton,
Hey?
what did you see at Windruff Mine this morning?
Mum,
Yes, Joe?
do you mind telling me what we're up to?
Bear with me, Joe.
Safe optimum speed on a track like this. Got to be nearer 40 than 60.
That bank lady, Mrs. Ellis, black hands, she said. Not paint, not mud.
Well?
Coal. Coal dust. Out, Joe.
It's disused, you know.
Maybe by the company, maybe not by a team of robbers.
I think you ought to tell Mr. Perry, Mum.
We'll look first. We'll work round that way. If we spot anything, we'll beat a retreat, okay?
If you say so, Mum.
Ready?
Great. Any bread?
In the carry bag. So, you know, Pringle, if it wasn't for you, I might actually be enjoying this. I used to be a Boy Scout, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's just like camp, without the lousy rain.
There, you put too much salt in it, you daft, stupid, manners idiot.
Oh, dear. Too much salt in yours, is there, dear? Try some of mine.
Oh! Say one word and you're dead. And you're all! Right. You rubbish! I'm off. I've had as much of both of you as I can stand. You try and follow me and you're dead!
Inspector to Hartley.
Hartley receiving, Mum.
Windruff Top, coal mine on the moors. Assistance required, urgent. Joe? What? Oh!
Down!
Sir?
Quiet.
go.
Pull it! Give me the gun. All right, drop that gun! Drop it! I'll kill you. Drop those bags. Come on. Up against that wall.
How the hell did you get here?
3 years in CID, sir.
Is that supposed to be an answer to my question? Like you, Inspector, I also have to write a report, and I should include some of my reactions. Found your whole attitude questionable.
I find your attitude unfair, sir.
Stop there, Inspector Longton. I don't want to hear more from you. The next time I walk into this section, you better have your ideas well sorted out.
Joe?
Too late, lads. You missed it. Okay, wait there. Hope he's on it, sir.
I feel a bit extraneous around here. Driver's back, would you?
Right, Mum.
I should have told him. What with my new judo classes, the next time he jumps me, he'll likely end up down a mine shaft.
No, you don't want to warn him, Mum. That's what judo's about. The element of surprise.
Right, Joe.
Mum, are you in a position to receive a personal phone call?
Who is it, George?
Mr. Holt.
Hello?
Kate,
Yes?
I'm ringing to apologise.
Hmm.
Hi, Kate. Are you angry with me?
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I upset you. I had to tell you, though.
you're the second male beast I've had dealings with today. The other didn't apologize.
Well?
Crown, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be waiting.
If you're lucky, I'll buy you an Indian meal, get you in the right mood for your trip.
Right.
Did you say something?
No.
Next on Drama, we catch up with London's finest police. The good folk of Sun Hill are on the beat. In the bill.
Target on your right. 3-second exposure. Are you ready? Watch and shoot.
Yes, mate.
Spare a point.
And why not? It's a sport, never did anyone any harm.
It's very true.
What's going on? You don't need to know, son.
Right, now, I've always wanted to be a milkman. Take off your coat. Right, now, what's your name?
Billy Dodds.
Billy Dodds, eh? Right, Billy Dodds, get in there. Get in the boot.
We don't hurt people, Billy. We're pros, making a living, same as you. Move!
Right, Billy Dodds. Now then, here's a tenner for the milk and a tenner for the load of your coat. Now, get in there and lie down.
I keep stum. Right?
Now, It will be 4 hours. You make sure she starts when we want it to, right?
If you feel like banging Billy Boy, don't. Because I'm a pro too, only I'm not soft like the others. You shout, I blow a hole in the boot. Knock once, if you get the message.
George, there are gremlins in my phone. Ring the engineers, would you?
Oh,
Is Brian Kelleher about?
not till this afternoon, Mum. He's over at Div HQ. The firing range, I believe.
Again? It's not 3 weeks since he was there last, surely.
3.5, Mum. This, however, is in his own time. And he's joined a small bore rifle club.
Brian Kelleher?
Same.
Hard to imagine Brian as Dirty Harry.
Nice grouping. Aye. Just remember one thing, though, Brian.
What?
If you're ever called on to display your skills in the line of duty, it'll not be cardboard you're firing at.
Right.
And grouping looks a sight messier when it's surrounded by blood and ragged flesh.
Bye, love.
Bye, love. Ah, that'll be the milkman.
Now the shotgun's mainly for show, so more action towards your pull. Mr. All right, I'm not going to make a fuss.
Good lad, David, good lad. Now, what's your name,
Alice, here, get over there. Now shut up.
Come on, lads, in. Right now, Alice, these friends of mine are going to look after you while David and I do some business down the bank. Right, Dave?
Hello, this is Hartley 10122. Can you check your line, please? We think there might be a fault. Yeah.
Right, Dave, you're going to come with me. No, Alice, you'll be all right. Because Dave's going to call in every hour, and if you're all right, he's going to do what I say. And if I'm all right, Alice is going to be all right. OK, Dave?
Yeah. Right, thank you very much.
Right, get the car up. You're going to drive.
David!
You had your breakfast, have you, Alice?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not dressed, are you, Alice? Oh, no, nothing like that, Alice. Only if you're not, you're going to have to stop that way. Or one of us is going to come with you while you change.
I'll stay like this.
Right. Now then, first call, 10:30. Allow 10 minutes after I miss one call, and then you know what you have to do.
Right.
What?
Let's hope you never have to find out, Alice.
All right, let's go.
Sit down, Dick.
No time, Mum. Could you make sure Mr. Perrin gets this when he comes over, please?
Can I tell him where you got it?
It's from a pal of mine in the Met. This guy, Venner, he's tied in with 3 heavies and he's on his way north with a tickle that'll make history.
Oh, what?
Right.
Where are you off to?
I'm going to check some naughty car hire firms. They're supposed to be in a roller.
Mr. Perrin would tell you to keep in close touch, Dick. I'm saying it for him. No Philip Marlowe.
Don't worry, ma'am.
Don't make me need to.
Damn it, it's a tractor. He might be able to see the milk van.
Put it in the garage.
You what?
The garage. Well, I don't want anything to go wrong either.
Smart.
Oh, I still hope you get caught. What have you done with the milkman?
Mr. John Chadwick, the branch accountant, Mr. Jarvis, the district auditor.
John. Mr. Jarvis.
Mr. Jarvis is here to check some procedures.
Naturally, we do not wish to be disturbed.
No, sir.
Now, there will be some phone calls for Mr. Ryan, quoting this account number. Can you check the balance?
Yes, sir. Have the calls put straight through to me.
Yes, sir.
And cancel Mr. Ryan's appointments for the rest of the day.
Yes, sir. Shall I rebook them, Mr. Ryan?
Not for the moment, no. Oh, John. I had an appointment booked with Miss Longton. I think I'd better deal with that one myself.
Very well, Mr. Ryan.
And who is Miss Longton, then?
A friend of my wife's who will not be fobbed off by the accountant.
Do it. And then I'll call the house. And then we can get down to work, you and me.
Guns are not my style, Sarge. I mean, sweet reasons.
Hi, police. Yes, madam. Well, what time do you normally expect your husband back from his round, Mrs. Dodd? Well, he's only actually about half an hour late, then. I mean, it's a bit soon for a missing persons report. And today he promised to be home early. Well, we'll see what we can do, Mrs. Dodds. Give us a couple of hours. Could be a puncture. Something and nothing. Fine.
Bank manager, Sarge, from Inspector Longton.
So, put it through.
The phone's on the blink.
So, knock on the door.
Hello? Hello, Kate, my love. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to delay our appointment. Can you make it the same time tomorrow? Fine. Okay. How's your mother? Good. Oh, Alice is in great shape, thank you, yes. Why don't you pop out the house and see her sometime? Yes, do that. And bring that hat of yours. I know it always makes her jealous. Fine. Bye. This is a small town. If you're not prepared to pass the time of day with your customers, the money stays under the flock mattress or in the tea caddy.
His wife's upset because he's not back from his round
Can you
yet.
take the call from Mr. Ryan?
Yes,
when will
ma'am.
you expect to see him
How's
again?
Sam?
Fine, like a bank manager, ma'am.
What's his route, then?
Except he did ask for Kate.
Kate? Not Miss, not Inspector.
No, ma'am.
All right, thanks.
Strange.
Something wrong, Mum?
I don't think so, George. David Ryan's a bit of a joker, I do know that. He asked me to go and see his wife sometime.
Perhaps she gets lonely. They live way out, don't they?
More top, I think, over White Peakway.
Probably no more than that.
He told me to bring me hat. Said it makes his wife jealous.
Well, if she's stuck at home all day giving him earache about working women, it's probably just a dig at the job.
Maybe.
Hey, when you put your wheels on, buzz along this route, will you? See if you can find a milkman in distress.
Probably another bored and lonely housewife detaining him, Sarge.
You're a sexist, Constable.
Of course I'm a sexist, Sarge. I'm a man, aren't I?
Go on, off it.
Right, this is what's going to happen. Are you listening? I've been a customer of yours for quite a while. In the name of Wilkins, as a matter of fact.
Really? What's your real name?
If we do really well here today, I will give you my autograph.
I look forward to that.
Now, don't be sarcastic. Twist your mouth into a very funny shape.
I'll be anywhere I like.
Now, don't be cocky either, will you? I'm the brains of the outfit, but those two wallies looking after Mrs. Ryan are the muscle. Muscle and bloody-mindedness. And I would hate anyone to tear your wife's frock. First day?
Right.
Understand?
Yes.
Right. So listen carefully. Because if anything goes wrong, it will be your fault and no one else's. Now, 6 friends of mine are going to buy 6 very expensive items in various towns today. 2 are going to buy jewellery. 3 are going to buy gold coins. And 1 is going to buy a very expensive white powder, which has nothing whatever to do with removing understains. Each purchase will be to the value of approximately £50,000. Total outlay, £250,000. Any questions so far?
No bank manager in the country is going to let anyone walk out of his branch with 50,000 at a time, no matter how many phone calls he makes here.
No. I'm ahead of you, old son. Each of my friends has a certified bank draft drawn on this account for the amount in question.
Forged?
Created with loving care.
Doesn't matter.
The people who are selling these items are desperate for clean money.
Crooks?
Let's just say they won't be too fussy. Especially when my friends hand them the bank drafts and, as an additional safeguard, invite their bank managers to call you to see if the drafts are kosher.
Clever.
Isn't it? And to make it even better, we have already deposited £50,000 into this very bank. Cast your bread upon the waters, and it shall be returned unto ye. Shall we say 6-fold?
The drafts won't be honoured.
No, of course not. But you won't mind telling a little white lie in a good cause, will you? It's not as if the bank's a loser, is it?
It won't work.
It will, you know. Because all villains imagine that all honest people are always honest. And what could be more honest than a bank manager, eh?
He could be anywhere around there, Sarge.
Well, he won't have taken his van in with him, will he? Anyway, he won't be.
How do you know, Sarge? I mean, milkmen.
Not this particular milkman, because he get married Saturday, and they couldn't afford a honeymoon, so they're having it at home. And his bride's just been on the phone to say his dinner's going cold.
Understood, Sarge.
Dick Maltby wanted to get hold of me.
He's gone out, sir. Everybody's left a note with Inspector Longton.
In her office, is she? George, make sure everyone keeps on their toes today, will you? Anything out the ordinary, I want to know about it.
Something special in the wind, sir?
An odd combination of talents has teamed up. I'll brief you later when I get something definite.
Ryan? Can I please have the details of the cheque and the account number? Yes, I can confirm the details are in order and there will be no difficulty about the payment. Fine.
Gravesend? That'll be the nose candy. 1 down, 200,000 to go.
I know Hugo Venner. Thinks he's a gentleman crook. Raffles the Saint, the Baron. Bold and Taylor. Never thrown a punch in anger, but they talk a good game. But this is Mole Kelly. He spots for rags. An evil man.
What makes you place them on our patch?
Oh, no, where else they can be. Patrol car spotted these 3 going through Charnock Richard in a Granada registered in Venner's name.
And?
No more sightings any further north, and I had eyes all over the place. They turned off the motorway before the next services. Oh, they're here. Fits in with what Maltby's got as well.
What's that?
Well, he got a sniff that Kelly's gone legit.
What kind of legit?
Car hire.
Almost perfect.
Especially this kind of car hire. Very prestige. Rollers, Bentleys, Tickford conversions. And Kelly's the wheelman most of the time. It's what he got Nick doing last time. A motorcycle patrolman got a face full of ammonia and a pension, all inside 30 seconds.
Why would Venner team up with a thug, though?
Benner needs a big tickle. Word is he's pretty close to skint, and Kelly's flush. Also, Venner would operate very nicely out of a roller, or similar.
Find the Silver Lady. Would Venner do a bank?
Well, if he could do just the bank, not the people.
I've just had a very odd call from my bank manager. It isn't someone I know particularly well. He was over-jocular on the phone and talked about my mother as if he'd met her. Then he said he'd like it if I went to see his wife. I've only met her once, and I should wear my hat.
And when you wear your hat, you're on official business.
Yes.
Maybe somebody was with him, making him do something.
I had an appointment that he cancelled. Maybe there's someone with his wife, too.
Hostage. Where does he live?
I'll check. I'm pretty sure it's a bit out of town. Moor Top, White Peak Way.
Get someone to ring the bank, ask for the manager, see what they're saying.
And the house?
No, that's a bit more difficult. If the phone rings there and she's in a hostage situation, somebody will listen in on the phone. No. Ring the bank first.
You better keep very quiet, Mr. Goldtop. Quiet as the grave. Or you might get something to imitate. Morning, officer. Nice day for the race.
Morning. Nice motor.
Oh, do you want to buy it? You got an honest face, I'll take a check.
Nice day for what race, then?
What, the human race? What else?
Oh, yeah, right. What time does the milkman deliver, then?
What? All right. Well spotted. The trained eye, all right?
What time?
Oh, it's about an hour.
Oh, been here that long. I thought it was me who was supposed to have the bobby's job.
I'm waiting for the boss and his muckers. Doing a spot of course shooting.
Milkman all right, was he?
With a milkman, who knows? They're always whistling. I know, he's all right as far as I know. He's worried about a slow puncher or something, but, well, apart from that, you know.
Thanks.
Hey, do you fancy a cuppa?
No, got to find this milkman.
What's he done? Stole the cow? I know, stand on me, son. I always like to know you like cattle.
Partly to 7740.
Hey, they're handy, those talking brooches.
740 receiving, Sarge.
Report any unusual signs of luxury motor cars, Rolls Royces, etc. And have you found any signs of that?
Turn it
Russian
off, son.
milkman?
We've got something to talk about.
As soon as you pointed that gun, you cut your options. All you can do is pull the trigger. Don't shake your head at me.
We protect the public. Yes. Villains carry guns, we have to carry guns.
It's a point of view, Brian.
I'm not saying it
and
isn't.
it's wrong.
Oh, good, Joe. Thanks for coming in. I need a bit of help with something. George?
He's got feathers for brains.
Who has?
Sparks, he's lost.
That's too much to hope for.
Lost? Where?
Well, going over Moor Top, White Peak Way, so far as I know. Looking for that damn milkman.
Why is he looking for a milkman?
Well, there's a milkman not back from his round, and his missus is jumping up and down, so I asked Sparks to skate over the route.
Come through, George. And you, Joe. Don't try getting in touch with Sparks. Don't even mention his name on the air.
Give me that radio. Come on. No, give it to him. Now turn it up loud, son, so we can all hear what's going on. Come on, get in there, come on. Come on.
Adds up to hostages and hostage takers. Which drops it on me. Bank.
Well, Mr. Ryan is closeted with a Mr. Jarvis, district auditor, and can't be disturbed. There is an auditor called Jarvis, but head office is on a course in Leeds.
All right. The house.
If Ryan was passing a message, the odds are his wife's a hostage. And Sparks and the milkman got caught up in it.
Yeah, they might have used the milkman to get in, and Danny might have spotted the van.
If they've got him, they'll have his radio switched on.
So?
Check if Sparks is there. If he is, get some manpower up there.
Right. Do it.
No, get peevish. We've got on quite well so far. Let's keep it that way. Your wife wouldn't like it if anything went wrong, would she?
No. And if anything did happen to her, accident or design, I'd stop being a bank manager, and you'd stop sleeping easy in your bed. I'm not making threats or grandstanding, just don't take me for granted.
Yeah, I was right about you. You would make a passable villain. Here we go. Number 5.
Ryan?
When I nod, I want a non-committal message on the air, all right? If I can hear that on Danny's radio, we'll know he's there.
You think with your buttocks, Kelly. Get that, Alice. And I'll be listening.
Hello?
Hartley to 7740. Hello? 7740. Are you receiving? We are not receiving you. Make your way
Go on, babe.
level crossing between Hartley and Burnside. Repeat, make your way to level crossing between Hartley and Burnside. Contact by telephone, re-instant on railway line.
All right, he's there.
Come on.
Hang on. Who was that?
I don't know. Perhaps it was the wrong number.
Go and move the roller. Go and stand by it.
I'm not standing by the motor. They're onto the motor. What do you think I brought him in here for?
I thought you had a bit of class, you know. I thought you'd have been able to talk your way around a woolly back without having to wave your weapon. Ven'll make you eat that. How many times he said, no shooters, only these?
Leave it alone.
I'll go to the bank with Joe. Make some excuse to get into the office with Ryan.
Have a standby car with 2 armed men in it.
I
don't care if they are a waste of time. Take them. And don't go into the bank together. One of you, Kate, stay outside.
Come on, Joe.
George, take me through the layout, will you?
Now, there's roads away from the house there and there. There's a track there, but you couldn't get a motor down it.
I'll get these roads blocked. It'll take about 45 minutes to get a team moving. Send someone along Moor Top, plain car, looking out for a police car unmanned, a milk van ditto, and a Rolls Royce or similar. Not stopping, just observing and reporting. Double damn quick. And tell them to use the phone. Radio silence at all times.
Now, look, especially if we leave him here. Take the copper's insurance.
No, we can't do that.
You should call in.
Right. Hey, can we trust you?
He's talking to you.
Life's just one big gamble, isn't it? You're not going to shoot anyone. So far, you've done nothing worth more than a couple of years. We're in mission, you'd all be out in 16 months. So if you're not going to shoot a gun, there's no point having one, is there? Let Mrs. Ryan and Mr. Dodds go.
That's a good idea.
You'd still have me, but it'd be all pros then, right?
No.
Why not? Okay, we let these 2 go. You tell a little white lie on your radio.
Yeah.
He's a liar.
You're a liar.
Yeah. It's Venner.
So, Kelly's thick, I know that, you know that. What difference does it make? Look, tie 'em all up. Yeah, but be gentle. Mr. Ryan's been most cooperative.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ryan, he insists.
What are you doing here?
Get the others in quick!
All right, Joe. Thank you. Take him outside. Search him. Thank you, Mr. Chadwick. You all right, Mr. Ryan?
You got Alice. How is she?
Sit down, please.
Move back, please. Come on, please. Move back.
I passed you that message so you could do something about my wife. My wife, not me.
A team of specialists is on its way.
Do you honestly think banks aren't prepared for this sort of thing? Do you think we were born yesterday?
There's no need to shout.
I passed you that message so that you could be ready to pick them all up as soon as Alice was safe. And what did you do? You sailed in here and arrested the man who was going to let her go. You're mad, all of you.
Your wife will be all right.
Will she? Will she? How are you going to make sure of that? You're not exactly sure, are you?
It's Juliet Donnelly here. I've spotted the Rolls Royce and the police car's parked behind it. There's no sign of the milk van. Shall I stay here and observe, or what?
Rendezvous with the command van, junction of Top Lane and Owling Brow. Venner. Where's Inspector Longton?
Talking to Mr. Ryan, sir.
I may need him up at the scene. He can tell me about the house layout. How many in the house? I want my brief. We call them lawyers up here. How many in the house?
I am entitled to a phone call.
Unless I think it'll impede my inquiries. Take him in there. I'm the trained hostage negotiator, so I'll have to get up to Ryan's house. I'd like to stay and punk Venner, so you'll have to do it for me. Sir. Milk him, Joe. George? Sir. Get hold of Inspector Longton. Tell her to meet me at the command post. I've no objection if she brings Ryan. He may be useful. But tell her she'll have to keep him well back.
Sir?
Yes?
Venner was after a deal in the car.
Promise him the deal you think he deserves. When you've got all you can out of him, motor up to Moortop as fast as you can go. I need to know exactly what he said.
Right, sir.
Yep. Clear? Clear. Ammunition. Holster. Right. Go. Mini Ruger. Check of ammunition. Go. Sign, please.
Clear?
Clear.
My gentlemen, you were reminded of the principles of the Criminal Law Act of 1967. Don?
Sir. This gives effect that only the minimum force necessary should be used. The responsibility for use of a firearm rests with the individual officer, and any decision he makes may have to be justified in legal proceedings. Understood?
Hands behind your back. Well, unless, of course, you don't want to stay behind with your boring old man. Hey. Hey, why don't you come with me, darling? To sail to France. You needn't change. You look terrific. To a man with a bit of imagination. And you smell wondrous, doesn't she, boy? Leave me alone! I'm paying you a compliment, darling. I'm a man of taste. And you are very definitely very tasty. In fact, I wouldn't mind a little taste right now.
Oh! You get us all collared, you will, you silly bleeder. Why don't you leave it alone?
Come on.
How much longer? Another 10 minutes. All right, Venner, my old and trusted Oppo. Where are you? I want my brief.
All right. How many in the house? Names? What kind of guns have they got? Where's the car you're going to make the getaway in? And what plans have you made for the release of the hostages?
You don't want a lot, do you?
Deal's not worth doing if it isn't comprehensive.
And what do I get out of it?
You don't fall over on your way to the cells and nobody accidentally stands on your face. I hate people who frighten women. Ready?
Hostages don't get hurt. It's part of our business and we're good at it.
I should be with her, Kate. I should. She'll be frightened out of her wits. Ryan. It's for you.
Yes? Okay, I'm aware. Come on.
What?
My boss wants us at the house.
Has something gone wrong?
No, he just thinks you might be able to tell us a bit about the layout. Come on.
Look, if I don't call the house in 3 minutes...
What happens?
They call the bank. And if they don't get a password I should have left with the operator, they know it's blown.
And then what do they do?
They use their initiative. And I wouldn't like to rely on Kelly's idea of initiative.
What's the password?
What's the deal?
Derek, step outside a minute, will you?
Mr. Fortune's staying at home.
Derek, get back in there.
Right, lads. Heads down, no fags, and keep stum.
Sense of purpose comes back.
Yeah, well, as long as it doesn't come with a face full of pellets, I don't really care. Oh, Brian, come with me. I want to get a bit higher so that I can give Mr. Perrin a recce.
It's time. But it's gone time. Where's Venner?
Traffic?
Traffic round here is 3 magpies and a sheep.
Okay, I'm ringing the bank. Hello. Is Mr. Jarvis still there? Never mind who this is. Is he there?
Damn it to hell.
What?
It's engaged.
What is?
The bank. It's still engaged. We've had it.
Did he leave a message? Blown. No message.
What? Just being careful.
You see the milk van? It's under the tarpaulin, I should think. Keep down, Brian.
Back! What's up? There's 2 fellas way up at the back behind the wall. Damn it, one of them's a copper! Right, what's going on, Sunshine? Look, the old bill's outside, and I want to know why, and I want to know now! Talk to the world, Sunshine. Find out what's going on.
7740 to Hartley.
You clown! What a chancer! What a real credit to the fraternity you are! You're a bigger handicap than no legs, you!
Yeah. Copper's on the line. Ringing back.
Negotiators here, then. We're stuffed.
Well, look, if the negotiators here, that means they want to negotiate. We do that from a position of strength. Don't we, little Alice?
Mr. Ryan, Chief Inspector Perrin.
She'll be safe, Mr. Ryan. I give you my word. Now, I need to know about the inside of your house.
Has there been any cause for the fella calling himself Jarvis, though? What, he rang off? All right. I'm off out there, George.
Oh, well, keep your head down.
All we want to do is talk about it. You tell me what's going to bring you out, I'll see what the boys at the top say. I mean, we all want the same thing. Get this over with. Get it settled. Who's this I'm talking to now?
Never mind who's talking. Get rid of all these coppers, then we'll start talking. Sold out. You've been sold out, suckers.
You don't know that.
So where's Venner? And where's the message? I'll tell you where Venner is. Gone. And Ryan's car, and Ryan, and we're left holding the baby talking to the coppers.
Venner's solid.
Venner's grassed you up, Sunshine.
Not Venner!
So what's the filth doing here, then? Get on that CB, Wally.
Saying what?
Clear the area, pronto.
You can say that on the phone.
I'm only talking to the one man on the phone, stupid. I can talk to the whole world on that. Bug off!
All right. What do I say?
Clear the area, or I shoot little Alice right to the knee.
7740 to Hartley.
And Kelleher's still around the back?
Yes.
Go up with Kelleher. Wait for my word. Do nothing. Stay out of sight. Cover the back and both sides of the house at all times, yes?
Understood, sir.
Maltby.
Hartley to Inspector Longton.
Excuse me.
Hartley to Inspector Longton.
Receiving.
The men in the house are threatening to shoot the woman in the knee unless the area's cleared.
Message received. Out. Wait. Sir?
What's going on?
They're threatening to shoot Mrs. Ryan to wound her unless we clear the area.
Bluff, Mr. Ryan.
And if it isn't?
Where did that come from?
They must have let Sparks send the message. Hartley had to relay it. There was no other way.
What are you going to do? Let me go down to the house. Let me go to her.
Talk to Mr. Ryan, Inspector. Explain what's happening. Tell him what a negotiator does. Tell Hartley to maintain radio silence except for messages from Sparks.
Just a minute. Inspector Longton to Hartley.
Receiving.
Radio silence except for messages from the house. If anything does come through, use colour codes. Takers are green, hostages are yellow. Refer to me as Juliet Bravo.
Yes, Juliet Bravo. Hartley
You
out.
have to tell me what's happening.
All right. That man there is going to get your wife out unharmed.
You can't be sure of that. Let me get on to the house.
Look, David, you're a civilian. If I want advice about banking, I'll come to you. Leave it to the police. We're trained. We know what we're doing.
Three men, 2 shotguns and an automatic pistol. The fellow with the handgun's Kelly. He's a nutter.
Guessed as much.
Is there anything I can do?
Get out of the road, Joe. And keep everybody tight.
Look, you're digging a big hole. The hole's dug. Venner dug the hole, and we're all in it.
Let the woman go. Do it. Let Mrs. Ryan and Mr. Dodds go.
Good idea.
You'll still have me, right?
Yeah, you'll still have him.
Everybody stays.
You're on your own then, because I'm out.
You're in. You just stay in. We're all in. I say what happens.
Come on, come on.
He's an expert. He knows what he's doing.
I've got to get a bit nearer.
There's nothing you can do to help. You're better staying here.
They've got guns.
Yes. Look, if they didn't have guns, those idiots in that house could do whatever they wanted to and get away with it.
Let's get all these coppers to hell and gone. Now get away from my motor. Just shut off and do it now. Like, I don't care what you want, copper. I care what I want. And I want you locked on, or there'll be bullets flying.
Well, there's no point in getting stroppy more. There's no point in getting aerated. You tell me what you want, I'll get it passed up to my boss. He's the one that takes the decisions. He'll get back to me. Now, you tell me what you want, I'll see he gets the message.
You got 5 minutes, then I start shooting. And I start with the woman.
Here, let me talk to him. Hello, this is Taylor. We're coming out the front. We've got 2 shotguns and a handgun. We'll throw the shotguns out broken. The nutter's got the handgun. I can't speak for him, but watch him.
I kill you!
You don't frighten me. You're on your own, Mole.
They're coming out.
All right? This is what you do. Open the front door, push the shotguns out. Push, don't throw. Broken. Then everybody comes out, one by one. Mrs. Ryan first. And you all lie down. Face downwards, arms and legs spread. You and all the men take their jackets and shirts off.
Right. Okay. Break your guns. Take them and push them out the front. Slowly. Now you, love. Come on, you're coming out.
She comes out the back of me! You got a bloody life!
Alice!
Wait!
Stand still!
What's happening? Stay calm. Tell me what's happening.
Let it go, you... David! David!
Morning.
Morning, Ma.
Morning.
Well done yesterday, Joe. And you, George. Well done, everyone, according to Mr. Perrin.
Brian Keller would like a word, ma'am.
Oh, yes. I want to have a word with him, too. Tell him to come through, Joe.
Ryan. Reflected it.
Come in. Sit down, Brian. I know how you must be feeling. I want you to know that I sympathise. I don't want you carrying an enormous load of guilt around. Shooting that man saved a couple of lives.
I want to be relieved of firearms responsibility, Mum.
I can understand that, too.
After I killed Kelly. Killed him, Mum. Not shot him, killed him.
Brian!
I felt... I enjoyed it, Mum. I never want to feel like that again if I live to be 100.
Next on Drama, we catch up with London's finest police. The good folk of Sun Hill are on the beat. In the bill.
Sitting there as if nothing had changed.
Are you on about that again?
Until you listen to me, yes.
Save your breath.
No, I won't.
So you think I'm some kind of waster, is that it?
No, I didn't mean that.
I know what you mean.
Now stop putting words in my mouth.
You never really supported me. That's what it means.
I was only facing facts.
Which I know about.
£2,000 is
The
too
bank
far.
can stand it.
They're pressing.
Let 'em.
But you're earning now.
But you expect us to live like beggars.
Well, we can't go on living as if a strike hadn't happened.
Stop it.
Sword in the black and white colours there on
What's the
Celtic
point
blue,
of me
but
trying to
creeping
make
up
ends
the
meet?
inside is the West German Stefan
I haven't
Wagner,
complained till
and
now.
a good
And
job there
things
from
will
Woodward.
sort out, woman. Look here,
He
me.
challenged Tom's little
All
owl.
I'm asking
Rest
is
shot
that you
started
look at
to make
those
a run. He had a
figures.
pretty clear run, but he looks under pressure at this moment, and it's going to be...
Alan, I want you to listen to me.
I have, over and over.
What you call the great struggle is done. All you've got now is debts. You've got to face it.
I am.
No, you're not. And you never will till you grow up.
You can cut that out.
You see what I mean? Look, you can't go on behaving like some spoilt little boy, expecting everything you want when you want it, and to hell with the consequences.
I'm not listening to any more of
Well,
this.
you're going to have to. Days of glory are gone. I mean, we'll just have to give up a few things. You'll have to stop going to that club for a start. And you'll have to cancel the holiday you booked.
No!
Yes! And here's the bloody proof.
Look, take that away. I can count.
Alan, we are not going living our lives up to our eyes in debt.
I'm warning you, Medal.
Alan, you're going to listen to me.
I warned you.
Look, give us a pass, Brian. That's all I said.
What's up?
I was clubbed, Sarge, by a 7-year-old.
And that's your version of mending fences between us and the community, is it?
Right, little swine, Sarge. Late tackle on from behind.
Joe, that bike registration scheme, who's covering Penn Street Primary?
Just look at it, eh?
What's happened to you?
I believe it's called a 50-50 ball, Mum.
Brian,
I'd call it being out of his class, Mom.
Sounds like a bit of grievous bodily, man.
shall we start again? Thanks.
Not the police.
And now it's gone very quiet, yes. I'm sure they were fighting. I'd be surprised if there was a single stick of furniture. I'm sure someone's been killed.
Thank you, Mrs. Grinley. And your number is?
Indecision.
Well?
Fatal for the 50-50 ball.
Right, thank you for letting us know.
It wasn't flipping badminton.
It looked like it.
Brian, Danny, domestic at 15 Fenning Lane.
Oh, right, Sarge.
Danny, be a good lad and keep your legs out of the way.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes,
is everything all right?
yes.
Could we come in for a moment?
We won't keep you long, Mrs. Fisher.
Thank you.
What are you lot doing here?
Everything all right, sir?
Answer me.
Mr. Fisher?
No business in this house. Not you lot.
We were invited in, sir.
Why are you here?
Folks got a little worried.
They're next door, I suppose. Get out.
So there's been no trouble, then, sir?
get out of my house.
Very well.
Well, come on, get out.
Alan, you can't blame them.
You keep out of this.
No, I won't. You're being stupid.
That's enough from you.
Mr. Fisher.
And you.
Come on, Mr. Fisher. Calm down.
Oh, he won't listen to reason.
You taking their side?
Go on, that's your only answer these days, isn't it?
Look, if you think I'm taking much more of
Mr.
that...
Fisher, come on.
Keep out.
Right, that's enough.
Alan, stop it!
By the way, Ma'am, I caught sight of Freddie Delaney yesterday.
The roofer?
Worst cowboy in the north.
Passing through, I hope.
Yes, he was when I saw him. I gave him a friendly smile to help him on his way.
Well, let's hope he takes the hint.
Oh, Freddie? I doubt it.
Joe, that Bartlett case is now out of the list till January.
John! John, they've arrested him. I better go and see our Meryl.
No.
She is my sister,
I said no. It'll only make things worse.
Good day, madam. I'm in the area doing a survey on roofs, and I couldn't help noticing that you've got some loose slates.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
That's not the sort of thing people do notice. Takes a trained eye. But you do realise how lethal loose slates are. Can I show you what I mean?
Well,
They might fall on your head. And then, brain damage. Hospital. The final bow. Next, obituaries. Just a memory. Won't take a minute. No obligation. Satisfaction guaranteed.
well, there's no rain coming through.
Any moment now. You only have to step outside, madam.
I'll get my spectacles.
Explanation.
Pardon?
Why you can't see the slates. The wear and tear of the passing years. Believe me, Mrs.
Grinley.
Mrs. Grinley. You get your spectacles, and you shall see.
Look, I can't just sit here. I've got to do summat.
Well, I've tried breaking the ice. If you think you can do any good, then go.
My brother-in-law's just been arrested. And my sister's on her own, 2 doors away. And here we are discussing whether I should go and see her or not.
You're married to a scab, that's why.
Look, I supported you, didn't I?
I lost a sister because of it.
She don't want it this way.
Who does, damn it?
Look, Alan's got to talk to you sooner or later.
Oh, no. Once a scab, always a scab in his eyes. He'll not talk to me again.
I'm going to see our Meryl.
It'll just cause more bother.
He's not like that.
Why do you think he's been arrested?
I'm going.
What was this row about, anyway?
Money.
As if the bank and the finance company didn't exist. As if being on strike for a year had nothing to do with being in debt.
I've got money.
No.
Look, you always borrowed when we were girls.
Yes, and John and Alan were such good friends. Well, things change.
You won't ever forgive.
You'll never forget that day John scabbed.
Look, you don't really know what happened.
No, just that it changed our lives.
How much loyalty can they expect?
Till death do us part.
Not bloody likely.
Well, for a little while, eh, Trish, please?
You're afraid of him, aren't you?
He's changed.
He lost.
Blames people like John.
Then he has changed.
You're being very sensible, Mrs. Grinley.
Didn't know the roof was in that state, did I?
Needs a professional eye.
It didn't take very long, did you?
Emergency repairs. But it needs a good going over, does that roof?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, Mrs. Grindley. How many times have people told me that? I give them my free estimate, they say yes, and then they're not sure. And then what follows? The first rainstorm. A deluge. Furniture destroyed, carpets ruined.
Oh, all right, all right.
Very sensible. There are times in life when there's nothing more important than lead flashings. Acid rain, deterioration of metals, little problems.
How much?
£357. Now I'll just pop you off to the bank. You can withdraw the money. I'll go off for the raw materials. Back in a trice. Job will be over by Wednesday. No rain on your pillow, no water on your brain, Mrs. Grinley. They say wisdom comes with maturing years. How true.
So you'll start this afternoon?
Of course, Mrs. Grinley.
Afternoon, madam.
I'm Meryl Fisher.
Ah, yes, your husband won't be long.
It's been 3 hours.
Well, he was a bit steamed up, Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
So we left him to cool down a bit.
Well, what's going to happen now, then?
Well, he's been bailed and it'll come to court in about 3 weeks.
I brought his overcoat.
Would you like to wait in my office, Mrs. Fisher?
Why?
Well, it's more comfortable. Shall we? And it's too nice a day for overcoats, isn't it?
Will he be long?
No, I shouldn't think so.
It's all a bit unfortunate.
I understand there'd been a bit of an argument.
Oh, usual kind of thing, you know.
I'm not married, Mrs. Fisher.
Well, you wouldn't know then. Oh, I didn't mean that to sound...
No offence taken. What usual kind of thing? Did you want to see someone in particular?
I was hoping Sergeant Beck might be here.
Won't I do? Sergeant won't be on till tomorrow.
Well, I'm a little worried.
About your husband?
Oh, no, he was in the wrong. No, not worried like that, the arrest.
Was your argument very violent?
I'm not bringing charges, if that's what you're asking.
I wasn't.
No, it's more to do with my brother-in-law.
Who is?
John Caldwell.
Should I? Oh, yes. John Caldwell.
He was escorted to the mine every morning for 6 months.
Yes.
Well, he's my brother-in-law, the scab. My sister, his wife, she called at the house this morning. That was the first time since that day he decided to cross the picket line.
I see.
If my husband gets to know it... We have a neighbour, Mrs. Grinley. Nothing better to do than listen and watch other people.
What happens if he does get to know?
I don't know what he'll do.
But you can guess?
He'll be angry.
Take it out on you?
No, on my brother-in-law.
So, that's why you wanted to see Sergeant Beck?
Yeah.
So, how do you think we can help, Mrs. Fisher?
I don't know. I just sense there might be trouble.
Yes. Thank you, Sergeant. Your husband's ready to leave, Mrs. Fisher.
Right, Mr. Fisher. You can go now.
What are you doing here?
I brought you an overcoat.
What are you talking about in there?
I invited her in, Mr. Fisher.
I asked my wife that question.
And I've given you the answer.
Just a little bit of hospitality, Mr. Fisher. That bench isn't very comfortable.
Hospitality. Comfort. From them.
I brought you the overcoat.
You haven't seen them on the picket lines. What they can do to people.
Better not say anything we'll regret, Mr. Fisher.
You never come here again, and you never trust them. The only thing they're any good at is running a taxi service for scabs and counting their overtime. Did you ask her about a Scargill video? A Scargill car or a Scargill holiday?
I think that's enough, Mr. Fisher.
No justice, is there,
Don't
Mum?
strike. It'll go on for years.
You never gave an opinion, Mum, during all those months.
Perhaps I didn't have one, George.
Well, I've always known what you thought about everything apart from the strike.
I'll tell you one day, George, if I'm around that long.
Living dangerously, Sarge. What did the boss mean? If she's around that long.
Perhaps you get hitched to Perrin.
I'm only asking.
Oh, Mrs. Grinley. Is John in? I want to ask him something.
Yes, come on through. John, Mrs. Grinley wants a word.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Grinley. Sit down.
No. Will you come and look at my roof, Mr. Caldwell?
Why, what's up?
Well, he said he'd be back this afternoon.
Who did?
Mr. Delaney, and he hasn't turned up yet.
So there it is. I saw Mrs. Fisher yesterday. She wants to see you, and now I've told you.
Safer to see the Caldwells first, do you think? Should I have a chat with Alan Fisher?
Not yet. He'll probably throw something at you, judging by what he said out there yesterday.
It's more than your ordinary domestic, that's for sure.
Look, see what the situation is. There's a lot of anger around, and something tells me something's boiling up between those two families.
I thought you wanted me to forget me days at the coalface, man.
Use your discretion, Joe.
Pouring oil, me?
Well, who better?
It's no good being too sensitive about our image, man. We are what we are, do what we do.
Then go forth and stop philosophising.
Hey, they're after your sister now.
Who?
The coppers. Yeah. Won't live well alone, will they?
Alan, let's sort this all out. Let's get together, the four of us. It only needs a word from you.
Never. He's a scab, your brother-in-law.
Please. We'll get over the money thing.
What's been happening? Have you been seeing your sister?
Yeah, she called yesterday.
Why?
She wanted to know if I was all right. She is my sister.
She offered you money.
No.
But remember this. That money, if it ever is offered, is scab money, and we starve before accepting that.
I wish you kept your eye on mighty principles for the people who want the money back. I feel shamed. Now look at me, Alan. Shamed. The strike's in the past. I can't walk past that bank anymore. I daren't go in. Oh, look, I'm not nagging. Not that. But please, just let's try and clear our debts, eh?
All right, yeah. I'll see what I can do, see what I can cut down, but we're not going cap in hand to the Caldwells. Bloody police. They wouldn't leave us alone during the strike, and they're still nosing around. You never told me what you and that inspector talked about.
Just a chat.
I don't believe you.
Alan, listen to me. Whatever you lost in that strike...
We didn't lose!
Whatever. You've lost something far more important.
What, for God's sake, what?
Your common sense.
Don't be daft.
And you keep yourself going with some kind of stupid pride. Well, it won't do.
It has to. I'm not bending to anyone anymore.
Mr. N.U.M.
No, Mr. Somebody. I stuck it out till the end. Some didn't. I'd rather be me.
We had another letter from the bank this morning.
Don't misunderstand me, John. I'm not blaming you or anyone else. You've told me the situation. I know it's not easy. All I'm suggesting, is that if Alan Fisher comes your way, turn the other cheek.
Oh, now, hang on, Mr.
In a manner of speaking.
Are you warning me?
Of course not.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, I get it. I'm only worth
come
protecting
off
if I'm
it,
strike
John.
breaking. Well!
If you and Alan Fisher don't talk to each other for the rest of your days, very sad. I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. But there was enough pushing and shoving during the strike to last us all a lifetime. It's time it stopped. Time everybody saw the light. And if they can't, or won't, all we can do is keep the peace. It's why I'm here. And if you don't understand that, there's no hope.
Yeah, all right.
Good.
Oh, Mrs. Grinley was in earlier on. Something about a bloke called Delaney. Can I help, please, madam?
My name is Martha Grinley. I wish to report a missing person.
Oh, and this person?
Mr. Delaney.
Is he a relative?
A roofer. He said he'd be back yesterday and he wasn't, and he hasn't. And he's such a nice person, I feel certain something's happened to him.
Beck's leaving now.
Probably nothing to do with you.
What, you really think so?
That's better.
Don't get me wrong. You know, we never really knew the police before the strike, did we? They're just a scab protection society.
If you go on thinking like that...
Would you blame me? I'm only speaking as a find.
Boss in?
No, I said she had some shopping to do. Ask me how much avocados cost these days.
You knew, of course.
No. Oh, and a Mrs. Grinley's been in to report a missing person. A Mr. Delaney.
Tell me.
A roofer.
Go on.
She was concerned.
I bet she was.
What, you think he really could be missing, Sarge?
Oh, yeah. How much did she give him?
I didn't ask.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Probably a couple of hundred.
Anyway, I said you could ring her at home if you wanted her.
No, it'll keep.
Kate, George Parrish mentioned your scab problem.
I wish people would mind their own business.
Including me?
Yes.
Oh. There is a cure for bleeding hearts, you know.
Tired of people jumping to wrong conclusions.
Well, maybe that's your fault.
What have I done?
I sense you drifting.
What?
No, listen to me. Confusing a kind of sympathy for the strike with a clear and simple view of your job.
Look, you do it your way and I'll do it mine.
It's not on. Your lads need to know where you stand.
You'd have me some sort of mother confessor in reverse.
No, just having the courage of your convictions.
My feelings are irrelevant in this case. But for the record...
Why not?
We were more than piggy in the middle. We were used and left to pick up the pieces. The trouble is you won't see that.
If you persist in misreading my intentions...
How did all this start?
Me trying to show you the light?
All right. Tell me.
If you calm down.
Tell me.
At heart, you want nothing to do with this scab problem. Not that you're afraid. You think you're letting go of some principle. Half-baked, ill-thought. You've got a rosy glow for the so-called downtrodden, and you're sentimental about the working class.
That's not true.
Oh, yes, it is. Because you were brought up in the army, you think you missed something called the real world. Now, get your attitude sorted out, Kate, or you'll find yourself deep in a hole of your own making.
Who's there? Meadow?
The police.
Poking their nose again.
Oh, don't be daft.
Asking her about me.
Why should they?
Yeah, for that case against me.
Alan, they don't work like that. They're not picking on you.
Oh, you say that. And I better put a stop to it. Them coppers is riding too high. It's time they were brought down a peg or two.
Alan.
Look, I can handle it. Even if I can't do some.
You gave him the money?
Outside the bank.
He's done it to lots of people, Mrs. Grinley. Taking their money, saying there's a big job needs to be done on the roof, and he needs the cash for raw materials, and he'll be back tomorrow. And he won't.
Oh. I gave him £357.
And that's theft, Mrs. Grinley.
He'll turn up.
Shouldn't think so. And if he does...
I'm sure he will.
He'll do a job for you, maybe £20 worth of work, and then he'll find more horrors among your slates, tell you it's a bigger job than he thought, and ask you for another couple of hundred.
He wouldn't do that.
Now, just listen carefully, Mrs. Grinley. If he does show up, I want you to phone the station.
You hear me?
Well, when he's outside, working.
Oh.
You promise?
But if you say so.
Yeah. And keep an eye open for him, because he might pass by.
Right. And I'll keep an ear open for them in there, the Fishers. There was quite a fight, you know.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Grinley. You just concentrate on Delaney.
I was right to phone the station about my neighbours, wasn't I?
Oh, yes, yes. Now, eyes peeled, Mrs. Grinley. Promise? Now, I'll need to take a statement from you.
And you do understand about our Mr. Delaney?
Yep, seems plausible. Drives Yellow Transit. Invite him along here.
And I don't want him reliving his boyhood days.
Oh, he's grown up now, Sarge.
That'll be the day.
No, he's a failed footballer and he knows it.
It's bad for the image being clogged by a tiny tot.
Look, Sarge, there is such a thing as rules, you know.
Tell him, Brian, please.
Oh, Ma, avocados are 38p each.
I know, Johnny.
And there's your sense of timing.
I'd like to see you, please.
About what, Mr. Fisher?
About a lot of things.
My office, Mr. Fisher, in a few minutes.
Sit down, Mr. Fisher.
I don't know where he's gone.
He was just going to sort things out.
That's all he said. Oh, look, I better go. Don't want him coming back finding me here.
Look, you're staying.
I came for help. Staying here won't be.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
It's me, love.
Well, about time.
I was just going.
Alan's gone off somewhere.
He's got this thing about the police. I don't know what he'll do.
All right, come on, sit down. Sit down.
He might be back any minute.
Right, well, I'll get to the point. Is there anything you need?
I didn't come here for money.
I know you didn't. For God's sake, Merrill, you're my sister-in-law. Hey, remember the good times? Spain, Portugal, weekends, just the four of us.
Yeah, well, they won't come back again.
Look, I don't give a damn anymore about Alan being stupid. I just want this settled, once and for all.
It's just that Alan behaves as if the strike had never happened.
Won't admit he lost, I know.
And his debts, he just won't face up to them.
Yeah, well, he always could shut things out.
His version of pride, I suppose. Yeah. As if the bank and the finance company didn't exist, or that they're punishing him for something. Well, it's his fault.
Well, most of us went in the strike with our eyes open.
Yes, but you saw the light faster. Look, all you can do is back him up. What do you think I'm doing? Why are you here? Because I don't know where else to turn.
Look, Merrill, just tell me. How much?
We need £500, like yesterday.
Right, you can have
No! If he knew you'd even offered
Oh,
it...
what's he gonna do? Thump me as well?
I can't trust him anymore, John. I'd better be going.
Therefore, Mr. Fisher, if I understand you correctly...
I'm being persecuted, yes.
We can't discuss the alleged assault on my two officers.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's nothing.
No, that's serious, Mr. Fisher.
I meant that that's straightforward.
Then this so-called persecution is based on visits my two sergeants made in Fenning Lane.
One of them to my sister-in-law. Why?
Would you expect me to repeat this conversation to anyone who asked?
No.
Then you can't expect to reply to your question.
Except that I know you were talking about me.
Well, even if we were, it might have been for the best of reasons.
So I was right.
That wasn't an admission, Mr. Fisher.
The other sergeant was round at Mrs. Grinley's for gossip about me.
What if I were to ask for your help on that?
I'd say you had a bloody cheek.
It looks as though your neighbour is being conned by a cowboy roofer.
Yeah, well, it's about time she had something to think about.
What's got into you, Alan?
Calling a spade a spade?
You're behaving like a moron.
Sergeant?
No. Now that proves something to me.
You know what I meant, Alan.
Look, what I was about to ask, Mr. Fisher...
You lot won't get any favours from me.
Just that you keep an eye on Mrs. Grinley.
Spy on her, you mean? You've become the salt of the earth again. Look, I can't forget last year. If it weren't for you lot, the strike would have been solid. Well, can you deny that? Can you?
Why did you really come here today, Mr. Fisher?
To warn you.
I'd be careful if I were you, Alan.
Lay off me, just that.
You've got it all wrong.
No, I haven't. And I wanted to tell you face to face.
Understand this, Mr. Fisher. Whatever your views of the police, no one from this station did anything during that strike other than that was proper.
You lot were just puppets. I'm not going to be one.
This is balmy.
Yeah. I'm going to find him.
No, wait till he comes
I
home.
won't make a scene.
Alan might.
Yeah, well, that's a risk I'll have to take.
Look, Merrill might have got it all wrong.
No, I don't think so. He's in a state.
Where will you go?
I'll find him.
No way.
Look, it's no easier for me. It's got to be settled. And today.
No, he hasn't come back. You think that's wise? No, I suppose not. Nothing either of us can do.
I'm sure he went to the police.
George! George!
All right.
Phone them? It's urgent.
Hello, John.
Has Alan been here?
Yes.
Is he still here?
No.
Would you know where he got to?
Yeah, can't have tried his home, I suppose.
He's not there.
What you called?
No.
Any special reason why you want to see him?
Yeah, time this stupid business was settled.
And today's the right time, you
Oh,
think?
are you telling me it's not?
Mr. Caldwell's looking for Alan Fisherman.
Ah. Do you think that's wise?
It's been like this for months. It's time it stopped.
Yes, I appreciate your motive. I just question your timing.
I thought you wanted to help.
Yes, John, help. We don't want to be clearing up a mess.
Look, Joe, is he here or isn't he?
I told you.
Right, that's all I wanted to know.
Look, Mr. Caldwell, I really
Look, everybody is so bloody self-righteous. It's me they're calling scab. It's me they're not talking to. It's my wife they're spitting at. And it's my bloody kids who are terrified to go to school. It's got to be sorted. And soon.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Delaney. Yes, I was expecting you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is it a very bad cold? A what? Have I told anyone about my roof? Well, no. Oh, you'll be here tomorrow.
See you. Goodbye. All right, Hartley. Land of my dreams. 3 more hours you've got me. And then it's goodbye, Hartley.
Hartley Police. Yes. What, and only the spanners are missing? What's the address, Mr. Thompson? Fenning Lane. Number 16? Right, thanks. We'll get someone round there. Hartley to 7499.
I just went into telephone.
And you left the doors open, Mr. Thompson?
It was an urgent call.
Excuse me.
Then what, Mrs. Grimley?
The sergeant told me to keep my eyes open, and he was wrong.
Tell us what you saw.
Mr. Delaney rang.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a moment, Mrs. Grinley. What about the garage?
He'll be here tomorrow morning, Mr. Delaney.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. You see, he wasn't missing after all. The garage?
Well, I was doing exactly what the sergeant told me when I saw...
Hartley Police? Yes? Yes, I see, Brian. No, you better not. Yeah, wait. Mrs. Grinley says she saw Alan Fisher nick something from that garage. I'll better go along.
I'd tell the boss before I go. Gently, George.
I know. Why do you think I'm going?
Will the sergeant be long?
No, I shouldn't think so, Mrs. Grinley.
I'll get it. Yes, sir? Is everything all right?
I'm not popping off yet, John.
Well, I just saw the car out front.
Everything's under control, sir.
Well, is there anything I can do?
You'll never guess what's happened.
I think we should wait for the sergeant, Mrs. Grinley.
And I was only telling him what I saw.
Sergeant first, please. Remember what he asked you. He'll be very pleased with Sergeant Parish.
Thank you for your concern, sir.
Right.
Good afternoon, madam. I'm a roofing consultant. I'm doing a survey of the area. I was just passing your house and I couldn't help noticing that you had a few slates missing.
Go and knock on a few doors, Brian. Someone may have seen something. Right, Sarge. Come on.
And the witnesses know about the new time, 10
Yep.
o'clock?
They've been told.
And how are you today?
Oh, apart from missing one roofer and trying to keep the lid on a domestic dispute, terrific.
Don't get so involved.
It's all right for you.
I know. Damn fools.
Oh, why do I find it all so irritating?
Kate, the sooner you get back to basics, define your job in the old way.
And shut off. I know.
Not so difficult.
It is for where I am. Anyway, I have got a problem of some missing spanners. Is that basic enough for you?
A lot better. A touch of the big time is just what you need.
And after you left the station, Mr. Fisher?
Came home.
Which way?
But there only is one way.
Oh, front or back?
Down the lane.
So you passed Mr. Thompson's garage?
What is all this about?
Did you, Mr. Fisher?
Yes!
Then what?
You won't let go, will you?
I'm asking reasonable questions, Mr. Fisher.
Taking your pound of flesh, you mean?
Just making a few inquiries.
Who do you think you're kidding? Just because I call at the station.
Mr. Fisher.
No, you listen. I call at the station, see that inspector. Told her to lay off me, stop picking on me. I know some of them are back at home than you lot around here. But I'm not going to stand for it.
Did you enter Mr. Thompson's garage?
Go to hell. I'm not answering any more of your stupid questions.
You were seen going into Mr. Thompson's garage?
Who told you that?
That needn't concern us at the moment, Mr. Fisher.
Caldwell.
Perhaps you could answer my question.
Go to hell.
I'd like an answer, Mr. Fisher.
You lot are out to get me. For that assault.
No, the magistrates will deal with that next week.
Oh, yeah, the magistrates. I met the magistrates in Nottingham. Do you know what the police said to me there? The only way you'll get out of this country is through the courts. Well, I've had it up to here with you lot. Get out.
Have we permission to search the house, Mr. Fisher?
You haven't listened to a word I've said.
I can tell you now.
I'm just checking if everything's all right, Mrs. Grinley.
Come in, I've got a lot to tell you.
Some other time, love.
Do you want to know?
I was wondering if you were all right.
Of course I am. And Mr. Delaney's coming back tomorrow.
Right. Well, I'll pop in tomorrow and I'll have a little word with him. Okay? I'm just off for an evening paper. Anything you want from the shop? Okay.
Sit down.
Where is he?
Oh, now look, Alan.
Where is he?
Oh, thanks, Tom. So did he object to the search?
Challenge me if you call that not objecting.
And nothing?
No spanners. No. Brian Kelleher didn't come up with anything. Thompson was asking for trouble leaving those doors open.
Mrs. Grinley?
Well, I don't know, Mum. She could have imagined it all. It's my fault in a way for telling her to keep her eyes open.
For what?
Delaney. She'd been stuck by that kitchen window for hours.
She could probably tell you how many robins went by.
Anyway, she's made a statement.
Fisher denies going into the garage.
Didn't confirm, didn't deny.
Uptight, was he?
Very.
I said I'd never speak to you again. I'm going to. Just once.
Oh, don't come here doing me any favours.
John.
I'm warning you. Don't tell lies about me. I never thought even you would stoop this low.
What the hell are you talking about?
You know damn well what I'm talking about. Lying about me to your pals in blue.
Alan!
Even a scab must have some principles.
Oh, principles. You spent the whole bloody strike shouting about principles.
Yeah, the ones you forgot about, yeah.
And who was the first to get on his bike odd carrying for some bricklayer?
Yeah, to stick it out, that's why.
And twelve of the lads in the building trade, are those your principles?
Oh, only a scab would think like that.
For God's sake, you two!
It's all right. Don't expect him to understand the issues involved.
Alan? All right, so I'm a scab. Maybe you're right. But what sickens me is that you and all the other so-called solid strikers wave the banner with one hand and line your pockets with the other.
Are you accusing me?
Not accusing you, Alan. I'm telling you. And what's even more pathetic, you were dying to have 1926 written right across your forehead, the great cause. And all you've ended up with is a load of debts and a soup kitchen mentality.
And what have you ended up with? Eh?
Look, Alan, if you
and
could just...
you, offering my wife your scab money.
Mr. Delaney, your tea's ready.
Did you call an ambulance?
I did.
Come in.
Caldwell's in the interview room, Mom.
Any news on Fisher?
Fractured skull, couple of broken ribs. He's just come round.
So it goes on, George.
Every cloud, Mom.
Not this one. Unfortunately, not this one.
No, I mean, I saw Freddie Delaney in casualty. One broken rib, one broken arm.
And one broken promise.
Well, Mom,
Well, George,
of course I inquired after his health.
naturally.
And then, quite subtly, I thought I switched to money matters.
Mrs. Grinley's £357.
The very same.
Was he receptive?
Positively cooperative, you might say.
Well, they do say that suffering humanises the soul.
Who does?
Shakespeare, I think.
Freddie has a way with words.
But did he put his money where his mouth was?
Oh, yes, Mom. That too.